cremation and burial planning. Simply speaking, we need to talk. Are your
CentralValleyTalk.com.
cremation and burial planning? Simply speaking, we need to talk. Are your final wishes cremation or burial? The three most frequently asked questions about planning your cremation or burial plans are: 1. If my death occurred tomorrow, my funeral would be arranged by whom? 2. If my death occurred tomorrow, the money needed to pay for my funeral would come from where? And 3. If my death occurred tomorrow, I would expect my funeral to cost? Call today to set up a time to talk and pre-plan your final wishes. Call Ross Rice at 559-325-1201. Email Ross Rice at ross@riceinsbenefits.com or visit rossrice.myhomehq.biz.
When you get hungry, remember Barbecue Bob.
Location is 409 Fresno Street on the corner of Fresno and Jones on the Golden West side of Fresno. The phone number is 559-375-1259, and we invite you to come out. You will not be disappointed.
CentralValleyTalk.com.
Glad to see you again. And we have a wonderful guest this morning, somebody that you know because we've had on our show quite several times, and that's Richard. And Richard, so glad to have you back. Richard Attell, right? I always say your name wrong. Say your name right.
I was raised with the pronunciation Iyall, like walk down the aisle.
Iyall down the aisle.
It's a Native American name, although I understand that the name came from my great-grandfather, and when he was alive, it was pronounced Iyall. But the pronunciation was changed to make it easier for people who don't speak our language.
Okay, so it's Iyall now.
Yeah, Iyall is fine.
Okay, I'll remember that the easier way.
Yeah.
I was trying to do it the hard way. It's so glad to have you, Richard, because all the things you do are all exciting. Hello, voice. Hello. So I want to hear the latest thing that's happening with you, because you always have such interesting things happening.
Well, on March 13th, I had a birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you. And I was very fortunate that there's a farmer that is here in the Fresno area, and he had a field of sage, but he was going to have it plowed under, disc under. Because I guess he was going to have a plan to raise some walnuts or something, but he found out that the Native American people really revere the sage.
Oh.
You know, we use it in ceremony.
Wow.
And so he was very, very gracious in allowing anybody to come out there and dig up sage plants before they got dusked under.
Oh my gosh, how interesting that is.
So I got to go there on a nice long bike ride with the bus helping out. And somebody that I know, he has a bike shop just down the street here, Tower. He helped me get a couple of shovels I could use, and my friend Laura came out and we dug up a sage plant and got it saved.
Oh, that's fantastic. So what are you going to do to save your sage?
Well, it's been put in a pot already.
Oh,
It's got potting soil, and I check it every day, and it's doing really well.
That's wonderful. And when it gets big, you're going to plant somewhere outside?
Maybe later on, maybe I'll probably move somewhere. I'm just renting a room, you know, in somebody's house.
Oh, okay. It's not very much space for you to plant anything.
Yeah, if I planted it there, no telling what would happen to it.
Well, it's good to see you again. So tell me the latest exciting things about what's happening with Richard.
Well, it's April now. It's a new month. There's the city buses are now free, so in the Fresno, so anybody can get on a bus and they won't charge a dime.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I never heard about that. Does this happen every year at a certain time? Or
No,
what?
this is the first time they ever tried it.
Oh, it's the first. Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, the idea is to try to save the climate. You know, get people to ride the bus more often rather than taking cars.
Very good idea.
Yeah.
I know that when I was younger, I had to wear buses all the time, and they got you where you're going. So
Yeah, I've used them quite a bit in my life.
yes, I bet. So what's the latest thing that's happening? Are you doing some writing or anything? Or what's happening?
I've done a couple of new poems,
Oh, good.
short ones. Yeah.
Oh, you're going to read one of your new, or maybe your two of your free
Yes,
ones?
I have two short ones here.
Oh, fantastic. Richard is a wonderful poet, and we always love him to come on and give us some of his beautiful poetry, and his reading is always fantastic. You're on.
Thank you. Thank you, Carol. This one is titled, Dark Ones Beware, for I am here. Dark ones, beware, for I am here. You bring your grief, but it will clear. I am the love. You are the fear. Release the dark. Allow the pure. I am the light. I am the cure. I am within. I am aware.
Oh, my goodness, you were certainly inspired to write that.
That's half of it. Yeah. Go where you will, I'll find you there. My light can travel anywhere. You may attack me if you dare. You will find out that I do care. My love is strong. It is sincere. We are all one, and I am here.
Is there more to that beautiful poetry? I don't want to butt in again.
No, that was the end of that one.
Oh my gosh, that is beautiful. That is so inspired. It touched me right there, right here. Very beautiful writing.
Thank you.
And reading. I love the way you read them. You read them so beautifully.
Well, thank you.
So these are your two. That's your first newest one, or
Yes, and here's the second one. This is actually today. It's my first time to recite them in public.
Oh, well, good. Go ahead.
This one is called, Is There a Leader Anywhere? Is there a leader anywhere who knows just what to do? Is there a leader anywhere who has it all inside? Is there a leader anywhere who's more than red or blue? Is there a leader anywhere to help restore our pride? Is there a leader anywhere who will not try to hide? Is there a leader anywhere? Indeed, it's me and you.
Wow, that really surprised me. I wasn't quite sure. That was beautiful. My goodness. So we're the leaders, right?
Yes, we are.
Well, we better just start doing a better job.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much for reading that for us.
Oh, you're very welcome.
And did you bring another one too?
Sure. I can get into another short one that I wrote previously.
Okay.
This one, well, I'll do this one. I am now free.
Okay.
It's an ode to my friend, Dr. Fred Bringelman.
Oh.
In fact, yesterday was his birthday. He would have been 93.
Oh my gosh.
Dr. Fred Bringelman, he lived to the age of 91.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I am now free of pain in life. I am now free of fear of death. I am now free of ego's pull. I am now free to know my soul. My heart remembers how to love, to let things go and just forgive. I am still conscious, even now. Though death has come, I live somehow. My life was filled with doing things. I love the peace that nature brings. The energy of leaves bring wealth. They do so much for soil health. I am the bushes and the trees. I am the owls. I am the bees. So nurture everything in life and watch your words to lessen strife. Be gentle with the ones you see, for I am them and they are me. I am of God. I am divine. I am the universe, my friend. Thank you. Thank you all.
Oh my heaven. I just can't get over how you just grab me right in the heart when you read those beautiful poems. That it's so important because one of the hardest things for people is to know that we're one. It just seems, oh no, we're millions, and no, we're not millions. We're one, and it's so hard to understand.
It is. That's why we were put here on this free will planet without knowing everything. We come, with a blank slate.
Uh-huh.
We come here to be able to do whatever our heart leads us to do, or maybe dark forces at times.
Wow.
But we learn. Everything we do in life helps us to learn.
Yes, it does. And what's the most wonderful thing is that there are other people that are close to you that we can learn from, because we can learn what they have learned because they allow us to. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. I can't say anything more about it than that. And I'm so glad that you're here again, because I always leave after talking to you feeling so much better about myself, which doesn't make much sense, but it's true. I do.
Well, I'm glad you feel that way. I feel that way about you. I'm glad that you are here.
Oh, so am I. So anyway, is there another poem that you've done recently?
That's all the new ones I have.
Oh, it doesn't matter if it's new or not. They're always beautiful, and I like to share them with everybody because, like I say, you read them beautifully too. So we'll see what comes.
Okay, here's another short one.
Okay.
It's called A Great Horned Owl Up in a Tree. Now, I lived at Fred Bringman, I mentioned. I lived at his house for over 7 years.
Oh.
And he had a house near Fresno State.
Mm-hmm.
He was a professor of linguistics there for over 50 years. And he had some property, and he had a cedar tree. It died during the drought a few years ago.
Oh.
But there were a couple of great horned owls that used to come in the neighborhood. and I love to hear the owls, and sometimes I go out and talk to them.
Really?
Yeah.
Why not? What the heck?
Sure.
I like talking to all the animals.
Yeah. So this poem is called A Great Horned Owl Up in a Tree. I am a living one who sees. I am a great horned owl up in a tree. I am a cedar tree who died. The water for my life had been denied. I am the water and the rain. I share myself again to let new life begin.
That is so wonderful because, we're all part of everything. You think that, plants and things like that, they're a distance, the birds are different and everything, but actually they're part of our lives that are so important, even though we don't understand it. They're there, and they give us this wonderful feeling of being alive, And I know you bring that out in your poetry all the time.
Well, thank
so I'm
you.
not telling you anything.
Well, I'm glad you understand that and you can express it.
Yes, well, because the fact that we're all one is the most important thing we've got, and yet it's the thing that we don't understand. How could I be part of you? Or you're a different person, you got a different body, but it's beyond the body, it's into the soul. So that's where we're brothers and sisters, I guess.
Well, yes, we are all one in our highest self,
Mm-hmm.
As we branch down into various elements of life, obtain consciousness in various forms, and even rocks have consciousness.
Oh, yes.
And all kinds of things in the universe. Yet all together, it's all just one. We are all one.
I know, isn't
But
that amazing?
it's
That's
just different
amazing.
ways of expressing ourselves and being ourselves.
Yeah, and on top of
learning.
that, we are also in the animals. We're all even though we don't speak their language and they don't speak ours, we're still part of them. They're part of the whole oneness.
Animals are much more in touch with energy.
Yes.
People they get caught up in the mind. We get programmed from when we're very young and get all these things. But animals, they're just right there, right now.
Right.
They're there to enjoy the moment.
I think probably that's one of the reasons we love our pets so much, because we know that they understand something that we don't understand.
Yeah.
So it comes out through the love, though, Love joins everything together, doesn't it?
It sure does.
Well, I get a joy out of just talking to people I don't know, and just giving Jesus a chance to give them love, So that's really good. And I have no fear of talking to other people, and they always respond very positively. Nobody else has said, "Why are you talking to me?" So it's always been really good. So I'm going to keep on doing it. And you better keep on writing. I love your writing because it's you. You have a way of putting yourself on paper, which I don't think I could do. But it's wonderful because Your soul comes out in your writing. And that's not something with every writer, I don't think.
Probably not,
Yeah. And do you think your Indian background has anything to do with that?
I think it does. I was born, with a father who was 3/4 Native American.
Oh, wow.
And as things went, my mother was very independent, and she wouldn't put up with his patriarchy so much, so she divorced him
Uh-oh.
when I was a child. So I was totally away from that culture, but still, it's in my body, in my DNA.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Oh, yeah.
And it took many years before I even knew what tribe I was in,
No kidding. How did
yeah.
you find out?
My dad sent me my tribal card from the tribe that he enrolled me in.
Oh,
He was enrolled in the Cowlitz Indian tribe from the state of Washington, but he was also enrolled in the Yakima tribe also.
oh, for heaven's sakes.
But he enrolled me in the Cowlitz tribe, and then when I turned 24, he sent me my tribal card, and he said, "Well, I've been paying your annual dues up until now, and now you can pay your own." $10 a year,
Oh, my gosh.
optional.
Yeah, how can you afford that? So actually, it's not the tribe that you were born in, but you're registered into a tribe, right?
Yeah, I'm registered into the Cowlitz tribe.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
I'm enrolled in their tribe.
And what makes the Kalish different from the other tribes?
Well, we historically lived in different areas.
Oh.
We had distinct cultures, separate from other nations that were in the Washington area, what is now the state of Washington.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
There was Nisqually tribes, Puyallup tribes, of course, like I said, the Yakima, and just a whole lot of tribes, Quileute, and all just different people, and some of them had different languages and different cultures, different practices. But we were a strong tribe. We were called the Blue Bloods of Western Washington
Oh, my
because we were
gosh.
such a strong tribe.
Wow.
At one point, there was reportedly 22,000 people in our tribe.
Oh, I guess that's a big tribe. Well,
But
you
then-
couldn't take too much interest in what the other guys are taking, right? You have to all live your own lives. Even though you're in the same tribe, you own live your own life.
Oh yeah. We're very independent.
Oh, yeah.
That's what helped us to live through everything.
That's important. How important that is.
And many of our people were very adept at catching and training horses.
Oh, no kidding. I
Yeah.
love horses so much. They're so wonderful.
And I'm descended from a chief of the tribe. His name was Skaniwa,
Oh,
and he was a hunter. He was a very proficient hunter.
wow.
And as a matter of fact, he was so good at it that he would go and catch game, maybe with a bow and arrow or whatever he used. And the way the process was done in our culture, the game would be brought to his wife to use her teeth to chew on it to get it, get the hide to be proper and everything.
Oh, wow.
And so he was providing too much work for his wife. And so she said, "Get another wife." In our culture, it was allowable for a man to have multiple wives.
That's fantastic.
And so my Skaniwa ended up having 7 wives total.
No kidding. Oh, my gosh. Well,
So-
men complain about how hard it is to get along with one woman. So how do these guys get along with so many? I guess because they're the boss, huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, if they have to do what he wants them to do, then that's all right.
Yeah.
It wouldn't beat me money. I wouldn't like it too much, though. I'm already too much the other way.
Yeah, well, my mother was very independent also. That's
Oh,
why
yeah?
I was raised mostly by my mother.
Oh, marvelous.
And she
So-
moved my sisters and I to Fresno in 1957.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Wow. So how are your sisters getting by?
They're still alive, and as far as I know, they're doing well. One of them actually lives here in Fresno. She's a retired teacher.
Oh, wonderful. So you get to see her occasionally?
Yeah, now and then.
Oh, that's good.
And another one, she became an art teacher.
Wow.
Before that, she was a songwriter, singer, and she formed a band while she was going to the San Francisco Art Institute.
My heavens
And so
sakes.
she had a very popular band in the 1980s called Romeo Void. and they had a signature song that she co-wrote called Never Say Never.
Never. Well, that sounds like the kind of woman I'd really get along with.
Yeah, she's very independent.
Oh, wonderful.
So
That's
she
marvelous.
did very well with the band.
Yeah. Well, I like bands. I like to listen to bands. Every once in a while they have people like that with their bands come to Fresno, and I love to go and listen to them because it's nothing the same. You know, if it's recorded,
Right.
there's just nothing to it. When you're sitting there listening to the real thing, it's just going right on through you. So I really love that.
Yeah,
So
me too.
I wanted to ask you about romance in your life. Got any romance in your life?
Well, in a sense, but it's not what it could be.
Oh well,
Um,
that's the way life is.
Yeah.
It always seems.
I have a woman friend, but it's too complicated.
Yeah, that can happen. Complications.
Yep.
Yeah, they're hard to get past because, you know, life is hard enough without a lot of complications.
Yep. So all I can do is be friends and give my love and enjoy company, but I cannot rule her. I do not tell her what to do. I let her live her life, and she's got her own choices. She got her own challenges, you know.
I think that's wonderful. I think that's the way it should be. You know, we have to support our loved ones, but we can't really push them around and tell them what they have to do, you know.
Right.
That never works. People have an ability to say, no, don't tell me what to do. Well, I'm glad to hear that, so that's nice. Friends, I think it's wonderful to have friends, but sometimes you just have to be by yourself. So you have to choose. It's nicest to have the friends that understand when you don't always constantly call them, you know, because sometimes you just don't feel like it.
Right. We have to have our own boundaries, you know.
That's right. That's right.
And sometimes we have to do something to make sure people understand and you know, don't push us too much into something we don't want to do, you know.
Yeah, that's really true because I think it's just in our nature that we feel like there's some reason we're here and something we're supposed to be doing, and we've got a lot of attention to that because half the time you don't really know what you're here for. So you just when you get a cue, you say, "Oh boy, that's a good. I'll try that."
Yeah. You know, in this society, we've been trained to use our brains so much. You know, we got the internet and, you know, all the media and politics and, you know, all that education system and everything. And, you know, use your brain, you know, learn this, learn that and everything. But actually, the real strength and the real knowledge is in our hearts.
Oh, you got it right there. You always do, and that's why I love you so much. Because you know where the heart is and where the love's from, and that's all we can do really. Love, like God says, love first your God, then yourself, then your friends, and then everybody. So I have a habit of going up and telling somebody I don't know, "Oh, your hair looks pretty." But I get a kick out of it, you know. What the heck? What's good about it is it just seems that they take on a glow for a second, you know. It's, oh.
Well, everybody we all have our own energy, and if we, you know, use our hearts and our minds or whatever we have to have good thoughts, then that affects other people and other things,
Yes, that's very, very true. And we don't, half the time we don't think about how much our thoughts and the things we do affects other people. It just never something occurs unless we really start thinking about it. We get somebody light to get us thinking on that line, oh, what I do does have a lot of effect on other people. Yeah. And it doesn't mean just that we're famous or something like that. I mean, talking about everyday people, we all have the same problem there, trying to understand other people and love them, whether we know them or not.
Right.
Yeah, that's it's so wonderful that we have love to share. And I think that's the best thing God gave you is He gave us love that we can share.
That's what it's all about. Love is eternal.
It is.
Everything else is going to eventually go away, including all this society, all this, darkness, all civilization, all this planet eventually, it'll go away, but love will continue.
That's for Kenny. That is because it's the one true thing. The one true thing, the truth of life is love. Yeah, and I'm much into it. In fact, I have that for a name too.
Right.
It came in my family. It came down from my grandmother. My name, Love, is Love, and my brother's name is Love, so that gives us going. I said, okay.
You got love wherever you go.
Yeah, we got wherever we go. That's right. It's always with us.
You carry your love everywhere.
That's right. Well, I'm so glad you came in this morning. Did you have anything especially you wanted to read or to talk about this morning that I haven't brought up?
I want to say that we have here in this United States, it is a wonderful country. There's a lot of problems with it, but it was started, there were, as a Native American, I know what was here before the United States came, but I also know that this country was founded on strong principles, of fairness, of freedom, of religion. We have freedom of choice,
Right.
freedom, to speak, the First Amendment, and also the Second Amendment to be able to help secure our First Amendment and all the other amendments.
Yeah, that's for sure.
We have a Constitution which, it has done a whole lot of good for the planet. And as long as we try to keep to it and use it and for what it was intended for, we can help make this whole world, the whole planet, a better place,
Oh, I think so. We were given all the ways to do it by these beginning men and women. And they set it up and they said, this is the way, if you stick to this, we've got it made. So that's what we got to do, is stick to it. And I think back, there's love. Love, love will make up for anything else. If you have an argument with somebody, you just say, I love you, and it's over, right? So that's what we got to work in our countries, too, just be able to love each other, even if we don't understand each other.
Right.
Yeah.
Along with love, we also need respect,
Oh, yes.
That is very important. No
Yes.
matter anybody, we have to have respect for them. Everybody has their own, view of life. And, they may have differing things, different opinions, different religions.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the stuff, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the skin color, all that. It doesn't matter. But we just have to appreciate that people do have differences, respect them, and give them your love.
Oh, I couldn't have said it better myself. You always say it better. Anyway, I just love you having my show so much, and I just hope you keep coming, because I always learn something when you come, and that's important. I think, we got to keep learning. Sometimes you get the feeling, I've got it made, I know, And you don't really.
Well, so many things happen that we're not ready for. But
Well,
sometimes
everybody-
we fall flat on our face.
Right, but everybody we meet has something important for us to learn. So that gives us a lot of learning in the way there, because there's a lot of people we meet, and we got to love them all.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, I love you, and I'm so glad you're on my program, and you're going to come back, right?
God willing, as my friend says, the creek don't rise, but their creek was rising. But I will sure try to make it.
Oh, I'm really glad to have you so much, and I'm glad that we were able to be through the morning, and come back and watch us next time.
Thank you.
CentralValleyTalk.com.
Cremation and burial planning. Simply speaking, we need to talk. Are your final wishes cremation or burial? The three most frequently asked questions about planning your cremation or burial plans are: 1. If my death occurred tomorrow, my funeral would be arranged by whom? 2. If my death occurred tomorrow, the money needed to pay for my funeral would come from where? And 3. If my death occurred tomorrow, I would expect my funeral to cost? Call today to set up a time to talk and pre-plan your final wishes. Call Ross Rice at 559-325-1201. Email Ross Rice at ross@riceinsbenefits.com or visit rossrice.myhomehq.biz.
9 minutes away from 1:30. Welcome back to Central Valley Talk, as we're broadcasting live right now on YouTube TV, Facebook, Instagram, our home, CentralValleyTalk.com as well. I'm Austin Reed. Thank you for being with us. Hopefully you're having a good weekend so far. Beautiful Saturday here in the Tower District. You're looking live right now behind me. This is Olive and Van Ness. Highs today in the 60s, mostly sunny skies. By the way, today is the first day of spring, so happy spring. Our next guest has been on Central Valley Talk before. Give it up for Kendra Lopez with the Fresno Art Run, back with us. Hi there.
Hi.
How are you?
I am doing good.
Are you tired?
You know, I'm good.
You're
And
good? You're good?
We went around and said, speaking of spring,
Yeah.
what is something that you look forward to in spring? And the weather is just
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Now, here's the background story why I'm asking if you're tired is because you had a run today.
Yes, we did. We had a run. We met at Arte Americas in downtown Fresno, and we ran all the way down Van Ness to the Fresno Proud mural, which is behind Heron Jaguar. And there was about 5 of us. A couple of new people are returning back, so that's nice. And we did a 5K.
We have a picture that we're going to show in just a second.
Yeah.
But so how many people came out?
6.
Okay.
Me, so
All
7.
right.
And that's
Well,
usually
good.
how it is.
Yeah, it's a small group. It's a small group. Now, okay, what's that picture right there that we're looking at?
So this picture was a couple weeks ago. We ran to Fresno City College from Tower District right here. We meet at Tower Blends.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Get your coffee.
After.
Oh, after.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's important to support small businesses.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is. And we were talking, now you're from Fresno.
Yes.
You were in LA for almost 10 years.
Yes.
You're back now. And is this what kind of, when you were in LA, did that give you this idea to start Fresno Art Run?
Yeah. So when I was in LA, I was a part of the downtown LA running group. And being that I did not drive in LA, I rode the bus, took the train, and I walked. And I found this group on meetup.com,
Nice.
right? I love Meetup.
Yeah.
And I started to run with them and get familiar with the different areas, whether it was like we ran to Dodger Stadium or LACMA. So that's really how I got to know the city, was really on a run. And when I moved back here, I was like, where are the urban running? And there are some groups. However, it's all about adding to the conversation and how can I, kind of show something unique. And specifically art for me is something that it's really important.
Right?
Yeah. I love the different neighborhoods and just really becoming comfortable in running in the space that I'm at.
Well, and I think too, like when you're driving around, you're not really paying attention to what's around you per se. You're focused on, the car in front of you. I mean, you're not, you're not looking around. So when you get out of that car, even out of the bus too, because even on a bus, maybe you're on your phone, but running, you're paying attention to your surroundings way more. And then ending at a cool spot that you've never seen before. And like you were saying, I mean, you talk to business owners, you talk to neighbors. I mean, it's a whole, event.
Yes.
Which is great.
And it's so neat to see something up close. I like to touch things sometimes when I'm like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
Or, whether it's an art mural, whether it's a neighborhood where there's these really neat houses, or we run and we see a lot of churches. So there's a lot of different things in terms of what is art, right? And that just really, you're in that environment that you're not really used to, and you're taking it in, and you're like, wow, I can't imagine that I am running. We ran down the Van Ness by Ampersand.
Okay,
ice cream.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that was neat
Right,
because it's a whole nother community. So it changes, and you just kind of feel like, okay, I can do this.
So what's the future as spring is here now, summer is coming up? Talk about kind of your movement and where it's going to go.
Yeah, so the future is definitely, I have April planned, so we have a lot of moving locations in April, which is great. We do plan on running around Fresno State. Okay. We know that Vintage Days, we don't really know exactly how that's going to look like, but just to kind of explore other areas and just keep on adding runs. I would hope as the weather is getting better and things are becoming a little more known with COVID that we get a lot more youth out. Okay. I think it's important to encourage, whether you have kids or you have, friends who have kids, whether they want to go and instead of running, take their bike, just really have that movement of the youth to be inspired to get into art and run and kind of like see what the city has.
So do you hope to expand as far as having more people join?
Yes, yes, definitely. Anyone's welcome. It's free to join. Okay. You can find us on Instagram. We do have a Facebook, but we're not really active on there. But if you feel comfortable running, 1 to 2, 2 to 3 miles, there's always going to be a starting point and a place where we turn around. Mm-hmm. So I know that it can be intimidating to be like, oh, I can't run a mile or 2 miles or 3. You don't really know until you get out and try, because we do stop along. We stop and we see something, and then, so it's not like we're full on racing each other. Mm-hmm. We're more there just to take in the environment.
What else what other things that you've seen that you can kind of think of just the last few months?
Well, we went to Wheatley. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you guys know, there's the 559 mural project, which has been putting murals up in rural towns, Selma and Wheatley. Cool. And decided to go and run to see their latest mural in Wheatley. So it's interesting to think that we're so used to running in certain areas. Well, when I went to go check it out, I was like, whoa, this is like rural areas where there's like, cars going fast. Mm-hmm. So that was interesting to see the little farm dogs and to be running and to see the blossoms. So that was interesting in my perspective, because I don't think anyone's ever ran, on that road.
Sure.
So
yeah,
it was cool to kind of be like, wow, we're doing this to go see
rural America.
Yeah.
Rural Central Valley.
Yeah.
And that's the other cool thing.
CentralValleyTalk.com.
Hello, we have two young gentlemen here. I have been given their first names, so that's what I'm going to give you. We have this is Josh, and this is Dakota. And as much as I fool around the word Dakota, it's a beautiful, beautiful Indian name, and it's his.
It is a beautiful name for you, Dakota.
It is. It's a great one. Thank you so much. We're happy to be here. Happy to see you again. Yeah, we're just coming on to talk about our night of sketch comedy that's coming up. A couple nights of sketch comedy. Josh, you want to talk about the...
Yeah, so essentially the evening is entitled An Adult Evening of Shel Silverstein. And essentially, Shel Silverstein is very well known for his children's poetry. However, he is also a very interesting sketch comedy writer. And his sketches are sort of a mixed bag of various... simple comedic ideas and then more philosophical musings. And we've sort of selected a few, six sketches of his that we're putting together in an evening with a total of 6 actors. Dakota and myself are going to be doing some improv as well to pad some of that time, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, Shel Silverstein just apparently is a very interesting guy, and so we wanted to highlight some of his comedic work.
Oh, that's so exciting. I'm so glad you came in to do that because that's important. It's important for people to know when a wonderful thing is happening someplace where they can go and be a part of it,
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
Absolutely. I mean, especially with the last year that we had, it's really nice to be able to gradually get ourselves back to some sort of normality in our world. And, a little bit of socially distanced comedy always helps in my mind. One of the biggest things I think we can do together is just laugh with each other, So yeah, that'll be Friday and Saturday evenings at 7 p.m. at Tulare Street Bistro. That is 1342 E Street. Also, if you don't make the show, just come down and eat at Tulare Street Bistro. Shameless plug, because the food is incredible and it's a lovely space, and yeah. Buy local, eat local.
I'm so excited though because it seems like all the actors have disappeared because they put such blocks on you that you can't do a love scene 6 feet apart.
Right.
Yeah, we all went into hiding, Carol. We all found a rock, and we all crawled under that one rock, and we've just been sitting there since.
Oh, I'm so glad we found you. Oh my God.
Yes, I know.
It has been really nice to see the ways people, actors, have adapted to the sort of the times we live in. So much is going on social media, just people having individual performances that they've built themselves just during quarantine. And so that's been so much fun to see. But yeah, we are excited to be able to present something a little more in line with I guess how things, how theater could be moving forward and a sort of return to normalcy. We're really looking forward to being able to present that.
Oh, it's so important to me because my whole life has been the theater, and I love it so much. And I hate to say anything make it hard for the theater because we need it. We need that because it connects us with people, really.
Absolutely.
And not just hearing the words, but feeling the feelings. And so I'm just so glad that you guys are coming out and saying, "Hey, here we are. We're still alive. We're still
Right.
We are kicking, yeah.
Yeah,
We are
exactly.
kicking.
We're still here to make you happy."
Exactly.
And that makes us happy.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
absolutely.
Oh, I'm
I mean,
sure it
even in rehearsal, just having this sort of even smaller group, but being able to all laugh together is just such a therapeutic experience. Yeah, that we haven't had much of an opportunity to have in recent times, and so yeah, even it's going to be even more exciting to see to hear the laughter of an audience and having an even larger communal experience. Yeah.
Fantastic. I mean, there's nothing like it. There's nothing. Anybody that hasn't ever been on stage in a show will never know what a exchange of love there is that goes on there.
Absolutely.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah.
So it's really important, even though we may have to rehearse 6 feet apart or something.
Yeah.
Right.
We're still going to do it because it's in our hearts. You know?
Absolutely.
And that's something you have to share.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that. So tell me more about your show. What's going on?
Yeah, so a couple of the sketches, for example, Josh and I had, they range, like he was saying, it's a really big mixed bag, and it goes from something as simple as like a woman who has gotten an all cotton shirt that is shrunk completely, and the sales representative finds out that she's a witch, and then she hexes this store, to like a scene between Josh and I where we're standing at the gate of hell, and we're having this philosophical conversation of like, do we want to go in or don't we want to go in? And the thought of, well, because the sign at the gates of hell, or as Dante Alighieri would have said, is abandon all hope, ye who enter here. So that's a very big thing to sit and think about. It's just, okay, gotcha. Do I want to do that? So that, yeah, they really they fluctuate.
Yeah, and it's like then you go from that, and then I'm in another scene where I'm just giving my daughter a birthday present, and so it seems simple on the surface, but the interesting thing about all of these sketches is that many of them take just a very dramatic turn at some point. They start out as a simple concept and just get more and more interesting, more and more complicated, convoluted, and ends up being this big ordeal. It's wrapped up nicely at the end. I like the collection of sketches a lot because even though they're all wildly different topics, Shel Silverstein has a very particular way that he writes these sketches, and so even though the subject matter is so different, the tone and the language and the flow of all of the scene is very similar, and I like how that sort of flow ties all of the sketches together. It just makes for a very interesting group of sketches.
That's fantastic because there's not that many places that you can go to see the sketches. you know.
Right.
You see a theater and a play or something like that, but to have something like this is it's a good opportunity. So
Yeah.
tell us more about what people are going to enjoy in the sketches.
Yeah, I think what people are going to enjoy, well, at least in the past year, I know a lot of people have just been stuck in their homes watching, I don't know, Full House reruns or binging shows on Netflix. And that has a very particular format. And those are like 15-minute pieces of television, or 20 minutes. It's not like you were saying, like going to a theater or like a film that's 2.5, 3 hours long. These vignettes are between 5 and 10 minutes each, so they're very digestible for an audience that is looking to return to something that they once knew, but may need a little bit of an ease into it, you know? So it's not a big convoluted storyline that you have to follow and really pay attention. They're very little easy digestible snippets, and then once you've gotten it, boom, you're on to the next one, and you get to, so they're like little I call it like a See's candy box of entertainment, because you enjoy one, and then you can put it back, and then this one's a caramel, and so it's you don't know what you're gonna get.
Right.
So
I just think this group of actors that has been put together is everyone just has such great chemistry, and that chemistry and how well everyone works together, combined with Shel Silverstein's writing, just creates some very punchy moments, some very over-the-top moments, but also some very understated moments, all of which are funny. And I just think, if audiences are going to enjoy one thing, it's how much this collection of people will make them laugh. Just because we're still making ourselves laugh night after night of trying to rehearse this.
Well, I know I was doing something one time, and it was so funny that we couldn't get rehearsed, and all we could do was laugh.
Right.
Another thing to trickle on the back of Josh, so these sketches are all in repertory. That means, all 6 of us are playing several different characters throughout them. So I think that's the really fun thing, is just to see the versatility in someone, that just putting on a tie and a wig can change their entire sort of persona from sketch to sketch. So I think it'll be really cool for audiences as well to know that person in that sketch and then forget about them a little bit and then see them come back and go, wait a second, I swear that was just you a moment ago, but I can't quite put my finger on it. So yeah, that's something that I really like. And you're right, these actors are super good at just laying into these different people, and it's really refreshing to see such versatility in such a small group of actors. Yeah.
Oh, it is amazing, and it's amazing to the actors too. I know, being one, how amazing it is to us.
Absolutely.
That is happening, and sometimes something will just strike you funny, and you waste a half an hour just laughing.
Exactly. You were mentioning that love earlier, and yeah, it is obviously you first think of the love of the audience and the actor on stage, but in this particular instance, we all have such a very deep regard for each other that it's that love across as well. Mm-hmm. So if we're not on stage, we're looking at these people and we're going, wow, that's I know I oogled this guy he does things, and I'm like, how do you think of that? Like, I just am sitting there off stage going, how does that come to your mind? So yeah, it's super exciting to be able to present something so specific as this right now.
And is it there's no particular overall name you could give it to it, or?
Oh yeah, the name of the event is I was calling it an adult evening of sketch comedy, but the play that it's from is called An Adult Evening of Shel Silverstein. Actually, the sketches are combined in 2 separate plays that he has. One's called Shel's Shorts, and the other is Adult Evening of Shel Silverstein. So we've taken sort of like a hodgepodge of both of these and created a homogenous sort of evening. So that's why I entitled it an adult evening of sketch comedy.
So that you're not only getting your talent as actors, but as your talent as being put together thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you make it make sense and make it funny.
Absolutely. Exactly. Yeah, we've spent a lot of time just getting the flow and the overarching themes of each one of these and trying to insert them, as well as giving the actors a break in between. Because some of these guys, you're in how many sketches?
Well, I'm in 2, and then I'm in the improv, and you have a much larger.
I'm in 3, I think. So yeah, the big thing was just to give us, since it's just the 6 of us, some time to like breathe and get water and put on new hair, what have you, in between these. So yeah, it was really tricky to try and set everyone up for success. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that is very hard. I can't see how you get anyway, but you just have to dig in and do the best you can, and most of the time it just comes out great.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Because if your heart is in it, it's going to come out great.
I would agree. Yeah.
So, could you give us even the tiniest little sketch or something? Or are you allowed to do that?
I mean, we could start one of them.
Let's see. Which, abandoned?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, picture it: a swirling vortex and a sign that says, "Abandon all hope, ye who enter here."
What do you think?
Jesus.
What do you think it means?
What do you think it means? It means what it says. Jesus. Abandon all hope?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Look, if this thing was for real, why warn us? Like, why not just let us saunter in jauntily? No, I think it's to throw us off the track.
So yeah, that's something of the this conversation just emerges between these, and it's funny that it's just immediately an argument. Like these two guys.
Oh my gosh,
Conflict
it
is
looks like
rampant
it's
in
going to
these
be.
scenes.
It looks great.
Thank you.
It turns you on just to watch. I'm glad you did that because you probably get some audience.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, this is Friday and Saturday night at Tulare Street Bistro, 7 p.m. Tickets can be found on Tulare Street Bistro's website under events, Tulare Street Bistro's Facebook page under events. There's a Facebook event there. If you go on Brown Paper Tickets, just yourself and type in an adult evening of sketch comedy, it'll be with the first one that pops up. So yeah. Also, tickets are available at the door. They're $20 at the door and $15 pre-sale. So get them online.
Yeah, that's for sure. But oh my God, that looks like it's so much great. Just that one little bit. I want to see more. You know? What happens?
Exactly. And that's the magic of Shell. He really sets it up and just hooks you in right from the beginning.
Right.
Well, I haven't not familiar to his work, and I'm glad to have you introduce that to me because I'm sure that I could use, like everybody could use, some reason to laugh.
Yeah, of course, yeah, absolutely.
And so if it comes through something like that, why the heck not?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Just get in there and try to get as much laughs as you can out of it. And I'm so glad that you came in today.
Well, thank you for having us. Yeah.
Yes, and please come in again.
Of course.
How long is this show going to be on?
So this is only for 2 evenings, but we have a whole season. If you like the actors you see on stage at this event, our whole next, basically whatever we can futz through the rest of this year will be in repertory. So these 6 actors plus some others will be performing the next several shows that we're doing.
Exactly. If you're interested in laughter as well, Dakota and I have also been doing some improv comedy at Tulare Street Bistro.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, no, not at all. Please take over the logistics. I said what I can say.
We have a monthly open mic night at Tulare Street Bistro, and some great musicians come through there. And to round out the evening, Josh and I, sometimes we have 4 or 5 members on our team. Sometimes it's just the 2 of us. We just do some long form improv. We play some games for the audience. Super well received. This month, our open mic is on April 23rd, and we will have a team of 4 together. Some people from out of state are coming actually too to perform with us. So
fantastic.
We're very excited. Yeah.
Well, if you need an old lady, I'm a professional actress too.
Oh, there we go. Absolutely.
So let me know.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you, Carol.
Oh gosh, it was having so good to have you here today. And I hope you come in again because I know there's a lot of things you'll say. Oh, I forgot to tell him that.
Yes,
so come back and tell us all that.
Of course. As soon as we can, come next.
Thank you so much. Love you.
Take care. Love you.
Okay. Bye. Bye.
CentralValleyTalk.com.
When you get hungry, remember Barbecue Bob.
Location is 409 Fresno Street on the corner of Fresno and Jones on the Golden West side of Fresno. The phone number is 559-375-1259, and we invite you to come out. You will not be disappointed.